We are back to discuss a book that we read.
That's what we usually do, is discuss books that we read.
No opinion if we haven't read it.
Yep, but we've
That's not true. I have an opinion about a book I haven't read.
But we're not doing that. We're only going to share today opinions about books that we have read.
Yes, that is true.
And in this case, a specific book called Morgan Is My Name by
Sophie Keetch. Courtesy of our daughter-in-law, who suggested it to me.
And we've already confirmed with daughter-in-law that we're allowed to have our own opinions, especially me.
And no hard feelings.
We were all going to stay friends.
This is really good. We can have different opinions and still love each other.
Wow. So that's foreshadowing. A little bit about this book. In the title is the name Morgan, and that's because this is a book about Morgan Le Fay, who, if you know your Arthurian legends or history, the half-sister of King Arthur and the Round Table, the knights, that guy.
Is she the half-sister in the real legend?
Yep.
Oh, see, I don't know the real legend at all.
And I knew some. I'm a little fuzzy on them, but the concept's there.
Okay.
Anyway, I believe that she is known for having a spat with Merlin in the legends.
In the legends.
Yeah. But anyway, that's far afield. This is a retelling, which means some of that may be how it goes in this book, and some of it may be not how it goes.
It's obviously her version of the story she wanted to tell.
Yep. And so this is from Morgan's perspective, and this is the first book in the trilogy, correct?
Yep. The first two have been written. So Morgan Is My Name, and then Le Fay is the second one, and I believe Lilith is the third one, but I just saw that briefly and I actually couldn't find it, so don't count me on that.
So would you like to start with what you liked about this book?
Well, I didn't know anything about Merlin, the story of King Arthur, except for the TV show Merlin, and that's pretty much, and Sword in the Stone from Disney. So I enjoyed learning more of that story and getting Morgan's backstory and leading up to King Arthur. I liked it.
That is similar to what I would add there. I have read one of the classic King Arthur and his knights books. I remember it being in, not Old English, that's a whole different thing, but in a much older style. When I read it when I was in grade school or maybe middle school, that kind of age, I enjoyed it. At that age, I somehow got past the awkward language and the these and the thous. That's been years, but I really did appreciate, this book brought a lot of those memories back.
Of reading those first ones.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. I liked kind of that tie back to existing stories. I kind of like retellings. On average. I like seeing an old story in a fresh new way. I also like music that are reimagining the original song. So I guess I'm kind of a nostalgic person.
I enjoyed Morgan's spunky nature. It is a very slow telling, and I normally hate that. But the narrator was fantastic, and so I was captivated, and I think that's why I liked it, was that she pulled me into the story. I was just in the story, just enjoying the actual just telling of it, which is unusual for me. I was just there, and I was enjoying the ride.
In general, right, what do I like about the whole Arthurian legends and Merlin is that the magic aspect. You don't get a magic system per se, like we look for in kind of contemporary fantasy.
I would call it a soft magic system.
That's
not a hard magic system.
Definitely. Yep, absolutely. Yep. The fact that there is magic is a redeeming part of this book. It gives you something else to focus on. What should we say about things that maybe could have been better?
It was just a distraction for me, and I appreciated it for that. So I didn't have a ton of criticisms for it. Once he started pointing out all of the things that he noticed.
So you're saying I might have swayed your opinion? Really?
No, I still gave it 4 stars. I plan on continuing to the series, and I did enjoy it.
I started out enjoying this book. I talked about the things I liked in the retelling aspect, and I was in it. All of a sudden, I just noticed, with very few exceptions, every single male character was a bad guy.
Yeah.
This is an anti-men book. Main character hates men. And even when she's in a romantic relationship and has feelings for a man, very quickly...
He does all the wrong things.
Well, he does things that then she sees in a certain light and punishes him.
Yeah.
Every action he takes is quickly assigned a very negative outcome.
As a betrayal of her.
Well, and he had reasons. Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much every husband is abusive to his wife.
Yep.
Pretty much every father is abusive to children.
Yep.
There's a pervading, and here's what gets me is the little comments along the way, like, I did as much as I could being a woman. There's plenty of books written with agendas.
Yes.
That's fine. If you want to be an author and write the book, it grates on me when it's snuck in other fiction. It's like, okay, go write a book about gender roles or whatever you want, right? Go write that book, and if people want to read it, they will. That's great. But leave Arthur alone.
But so I didn't read any summary of it, but if you go and read the summary of Amazon, the title of it literally says a feminist retelling. And I was like, oh, the author totally had an agenda when she was writing that book. And I didn't get that when I was reading it. But after you pointed it out, it was, oh, yeah, totally.
Her father is a positive figure who doesn't make it very far in this book.
No, it
FYI.
doesn't.
And has more or less a positive relationship with
his
her mother.
daughters and his mother.
Yeah. Even attributes and how he related to them was seen as wielding power over them and whatever. Yeah. And by the end, it ruined it for me. I don't believe you can have a moral high ground against one group when you're just looking to replace it with another group. You cannot fix the problems of patriarchy by replacing it with a matriarchy.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And you end up with a whole new set of problems. And it just is a push and pull back and forth. There's no peace at the end of that. And that's where this book goes. Even in the end, there was a knight that ended up protecting her in the final parts of the book.
Final scene, yeah.
Even then, he couldn't be a good guy. He was doing it for his own selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And he was still portrayed as a bad guy.
Yes.
I'd say her sister Elaine's husband was a positive potential male character. He was non-existent. And we only get to see him through the eyes of his wife.
Well, but that's the point of view it's told from.
To be more explicit, she talks to her sister about her husband. The husband doesn't actually enter into the conversation. He's a non-entity.
That's true.
And that is, unfortunately, in past. And I'm also not disagreeing with some, there are books that don't treat women fairly. I'm not arguing that. And that's one of the problems. Is you have a whole book, and yeah, there's women in the background, but you actually rarely interact with them as characters. You only hear and see what the women are presumed to think and feel through the eyes of men, and that's not a fair representation. And it would be a better book if they were real characters and you could see what their concerns were and what their goals were and how they fit into the story. It's just all we've done is flip that script the other way.
But it is concerning to me, especially today, as I have sons that are married and have families and are trying to provide for their families, that we are pushing on young girls today that men are all garbage and that they don't have any value anymore. And that is concerning, especially when you take into account the family as a whole.
From a prose standpoint, it's fairly well written.
It was very well written. I was sucked in.
What would be
my star rating?
Your total rating for this
My total
book?
rating. So I gave it 4 stars initially. I would probably take it down to 3, but I wouldn't go lower than that. I enjoyed it. It served its purpose for me. It gave me a context for the Arthurian legend, and I plan on reading the next one.
No surprise, I'm a solid 1 star. Would not recommend, would not read again. We have enough divisiveness, enough of this political stuff. I don't do this to talk about politics. And yet, the number of books we encounter that just want to belabor contention blows my mind.
It's the thing.
We should find something better to do, like read a nice fantasy book that doesn't deal with that stuff.
Well, but fantasy books deal with politics all the time.
Yeah, good old-fashioned fake politics. Again, these are not the social issues.
But don't we read to learn about what's happening and how we can better relate to our own world through the stories and experiences of others?
I agree. Reading helps you have, a better lens to view your life through, and you can learn all that stuff you said. I think that was well stated.
Yes.
I think in these situations, though, it's covered with so much bias that it's not even doing that job well. If this was the content read by young women, what are they going to expect from men and from marriage? They're going to be looking to destroy those relationships before they even get started. You're not helping anybody. You're not getting more rights when you say that, no woman needs a man in her life. That'd be just as crazy as saying men don't need women. I mean, that's really not how it works. Anyway, so 1 star for me. And I look forward to another book that I hope doesn't have this kind of controversy in it. I am searching and hoping for a 5-star. It's
He
been a
wants
long
a
time.
5-star.
I
He
want
looked back.
something.
His last 5-star read was The Labors of Hercules Beale.
February.
But that was February.
Yep, in February. It's time. So, we'll see.
Go read Labors of Hercules Beale. Happy reading, everybody.
We'll see you.
Bye.